You're listening to The State of Play, your quick fire roundup of all things Irish football and beyond. Coming up on this episode, we've the very latest on the FAI search for Stephen Kenny's replacement. The boys in green will play Hungary in June, but where? Adam Idah, is he on his way to Celtic? And we look at David Conley's treasure chest. Who are all this and more coming up on The State of Play? David Dunn here, as always joined by Martin Prendergast, and you're very welcome to a very special edition of The State of Play. I mean, every edition is special, let's be honest, but we're here mostly to talk about the very latest in Stephen Kenny's replacement. That is right, the FAI had their board meeting today at Abbottstown. We had Tonya Donoghue, we had all the lads out there with their sandwiches in the freezing cold, and we weren't. We had to comfort our own homes, Martin, weren't we? It's amazing what you can do from your own armchair, really. Let those lads report, and we'll just report their stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, just following the speculation and the wonderful national broadcasters coverage. Fair play to RTE. That's why I don't pay any money towards it.
I did when I lived in Ireland. I don't anymore. I pay the BBC. I pay Gary Lineker to pontificate to me every week on Twitter. Yeah. Brilliant. 15 quid a month or whatever it is. We jest, of course. The lads do a brilliant job, to be fair. And, you know, they're out there freezing their arse off. To be fair, if I lived in Ireland, I'd probably do the same as well. I'm just really trying to keep onto my media pass. Of course, if very welcome to you guys out there watching in YouTube and Facebook land. Another Tuesday edition or Wednesday morning edition, I suppose, of The State of Play. If you like what you hear, you love what you see, you can give us a cheeky subscribe to the YouTube channel. You got a QR code down the bottom right hand corner, or you can just head to the YouTube channel, which is Lansdowne Road. You can head over to greenmachinepodcast.com for opinion. We got a Facebook page, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter. It's all on there for you. And you know, if you like what you hear, tell other people about it. You know, we're trying to grow the page, but anyway, let's get into it. Of course, the FAI had a word today. They had a lovely little board meeting, and well, basically, we were all the lads were outside waiting for the white smoke to appear from Abbottstown, and it didn't appear, Martin, did it? Still no new manager.
No, but I think we kind of had reconciled in our own hearts and minds that we weren't going to get an announcement today. I didn't think we were. I think this was all about, 7 days ago we were all, we're 7 days out from this board meeting that has been, arranged with Mark and Jonathan. I think the way I'm hearing the board members refer to them in their first names, I'm going to start adopting that. I think I'm not going to call Jonathan Hill anymore. It's going to be Jonathan and
Johnny
and Mark.
Marky.
I think we've trusted them so much to get this right. So I wasn't expecting it today to hear this announcement, especially as the speculation has been changing day to day. Of course, the coverage as well that we've heard that a few leaks coming out now. I think it's quite interesting. It's actually reassuring me. We're getting little snippets of things. The bookies are back in action as well. We're
starting to fall away now, isn't it? We were on about no leaks.
Yeah, no leaks, and it's all now. Oh, and one of the things now, they're going to wait for the right man, and we're going to like him to. I mean, ironically, we'd like him to live in Ireland and help promote the underage and the League of Ireland and all sorts.
Let's have a little chat about that, actually, of course, since we were last on the live episode, by the way, which is available on the YouTube channel. Go back and have a watch if you want. And other State of Plays, by the way, all through the channel there. Thank you for your support. Of course, since we've last been on, which was Sunday night, they have announced the FAI that they will wait, maybe for the right person. That actually broke whilst we were on live, by the way, that they might wait, that they're not going to announce anything today on the Tuesday. Fair enough. And also it came out that apparently they were looking for the manager to be based in Ireland, which I think is a little rich when the CEO himself doesn't live in Ireland. But anyway, and, well, I'm going to read an article here. This is from Dan McDonald's, friend of the podcast. His article in the Irish Independent came out today at 9:39 p.m. That is on the 30th of January. Just so we're time stamping this so we keep you guys in the loop. But basically, says new FAI board chair Tony Keown says that Stephen Kenny's replacement will be appointed in the not too distant future, but declined to commit to a timeline. Of course, this was actually a workshop for new board members, and they were given board member training and all that kind of stuff. And he had free sandwiches and everything. I was quite hungry actually looking at it on the on RTA. Basically says, yeah, members of the board were tight-lipped on details. He departed Abbottstown and with strong suggestions that there's no guarantee of an appointment prior to next Thursday's UEFA Nations League draw in Paris. Now, that was the initial target there from the FAI. That is on the 8th of February. Just putting a timestamp on that. We will have an episode, by the way, of the State of Play after that, a reactionary episode. But yeah, that is looking unlikely now. So, but to be fair, you know, I think they know who they want. So I do have a noisy rabbit in the background. She's kicking off. She hasn't seen me today. The trials and tribulations living in London. But yeah, there was, you know, we knew he was going to take his time, Marc Canham, because I mean, yeah, there's room. We were talking about this earlier on today, Martin, wasn't there? You know, the rumors. The rumor is that they want Carley. That's it. You know, he's the guy for us. And to be fair, the mantra that they want to portray, the vision that Marc Canham has, the technical director, Carley ticks all those boxes, all of them. And then you're hearing if he doesn't get Carley, he goes with Neil Lennon. Nothing against Neil Lennon, but Neil Lennon is Martin O'Neill 2.0. Let's be honest. And how do you? They're complete polar opposites. One's about the future, the other one's about the past. So we kind of thought it'd be a bit mental on Tuesday to, and you know, I wrote an article about it to go, oh, by the way, I'm the technical director going to portray Irish football in the 21st century. Here is Neil Lennon. It just seemed even absurd, even for the FAI.
Yeah, I'm in my head, I'm actually more confident. I think it's going to be Carley. I think the date of the, I don't think it's relevant actually, the 8th of February, the Nations League. I don't think we have to have it announced before then. We know what pot we're in. We know the kind of the possible opposition we can get. I mean, it's very narrow, isn't it? Who we can get. And as I said, I think it's just destiny. It's going to be England. I think they're just waiting to get it right, in the sense that there's a few little background issues that they're trying to sort out, probably with the backroom staff and pay and contractual kind of things. I don't think it should be a sticking point that the manager is not going to be based in Ireland. They do want an Irish manager. They want an Irishman. They've said that. So Carley fits the bill with that. And I think he would fit the whole development strategy of underage football and how it's coming through. And I think
he's Birmingham based as well. So
he is. And that's not a problem for me at all, because the manager's job at Ireland is going to be watching players playing in the Championship. And you're going to have coaches doing a lot of your scouting as well, and a great scouting network will be put in place, I'm sure. And he's been well connected, Carley, of course, for years. So I don't think it's actually relevant. I think what it will be will be for the promotion of the game. I don't think they want to go down the route of Trapattoni just flying in and not know it and having to be briefed by people of who
getting DVDs and all this nonsense.
Yeah, look, Carley's gonna, if he comes in, he's gonna do the job properly, because his reputation on the line, and he's a young and up and coming developing coach. Well,
I mean, just to get a quote here, Jonathan, our new friend of the pod, this is a quote from Paul Cook, who's the president. He came in and said, "We only got an update. It went well. We received the update quite well," he said. Jonathan, friend of the pod, will keep the process going. No timeline at the moment. We will have a manager as soon as we identify the appropriate candidate and they accept that role. Numerous people have been identified. I go with that. Look, and I agree with you there. We have to be patient. I know it's not something we Irish are known for, patience, especially when it comes to Irish football. But we have to be patient. You know, we have to get the right man, because Carley's the type of coach we want. However, there's not many other that fit his DNA, and there isn't. There's Anthony Barry. Yet again, you know, it'll be his first gig. We ain't going to get him 7-figure sum. It's not going to happen. Although, do you find it interesting that Tuchel came out, didn't he? He actually said he'd be interested in managing Barcelona, which would be which will be vacated by Xavi at the end of the season. You know, maybe Anthony Barry be going to maybe either Anthony Barry be out in his arse with Tuchel, and he might become free. although you'd have to sort it out with the Portugal FA, or he could be at Barcelona. It's a bit mad, isn't it?
Well, I think it's just Tuchel fancying himself for a top job in international club football, and I don't mind that ambition at all. And I think Barry's just gonna, but Barcelona.
He's not a Man United man. He's at a decent club.
Barcelona are bigger than them, and an exciting start for Barcelona going back to the Camp Nou as well, because it's going to be all renovated. It looks amazing what they're going to do there. I just think as well it's telling that that's Marc Canham for non-friends of Mark, that he presented the pathway today to the board, and that is the whole strategy of how the FAI are looking to develop football in Ireland. And I would imagine if I was presenting it as Mark, I would, and we hadn't got the appointment of the manager in place, I would be saying this is why this person fits in with this strategy, what I have in mind. This guy's got this, and that's why he's our number one target. And then if I was a board member, I'd be saying, okay, Mark, okay, but what we don't get that guy then, or what do we need to do that guy then? If you really believe in your pathway and that's the man to deliver it at a senior level, how do we get him? What more do you need? Do we need more money? What do we need? And that's what I think the interaction might have been today. Just on the Paul Cook stuff, like I know you've read the quotes there. We must get the video clip of that and share that of Tony Cork Todd, as I know Tony. We must share that because it's fantastic. It's just very Irish, I think, because Paul Cook's trying to get home and Tony just keeps calling him back. And it's very, very funny, I found. And he just keeps coming back. He just can't shut it down. And he's like, okay, can I go home now? Kind of thing. It's very good. And fair play to the persistence of Tony, who is also a friend of the pod.
I like Tony. So what's his surname again?
Cork Todd is how I know him, Dave.
Yeah, what's his surname?
Donahue.
Okay, yeah. Did you get elocution lessons for that, did you?
Yeah. Did you see, just on names, did you see you scored for Luton tonight? They beat Evan Ferguson's Brighton very convincingly, 4-0.
Yeah, you man.
No, not the hat-trick scorer. No, the Irish lad who plays for them. What's his name?
Kidozie?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Kidozie. It's not Kidozie.
Kidozie, Benny, yeah. No. All right, well, how do you spread this fucking name then?
Chidozie.
Oh, man, I've had about 2 hours sleep. You don't hear me having a go at you about how you butcher names,
Chidozie Ogbene. Yodozie fucker.
Oh, fuck you. See, this is where the real journalism is here. You don't get this one off the ball.
Nah.
I'll tell you what, one possible, we've talked about Carley and Lennon, and I think we can forget about Butus P was in Dublin the other day, wasn't he? And he came out, and I screen grabbed the interview he gave on RT, to put on, I think it was Heineken Zero, to put on the Facebook page. And, you do these things in a rush. And here he is there. And it says,
Carlsberg Zero. We better get that correct.
Oh, Carlsberg Zero, sorry. I'm a Guinness Zero man myself. Fucking gateway drink. Gus Pyatt says he hasn't spoken to the FAI about the Ireland job. And I didn't really realize how unfortunate that screen grab was. If you're listening to it, you should be watching it on the YouTube channel. But I tell you what, I did pop at this. Here's a response to it on the Facebook page. Mickey Boylan, is there a ransom out for him or something? I thought that. I was like, yeah, I didn't really pick a great picture there, did I? Yeah, Gus Pyatt, he says he'd be unsafe, I think, if he left Greece now for Ireland, I think he said. But also just a little quick, and we're going to move it on because there isn't too much more to tell you about this. Of course, the Nations League draw will be the 8th of February, and that will be from Paris. We will have an episode, a reactionary episode of that for you here on the State of Play. But apparently the government as well, there's other things we're looking at, and one of them was, I think there was 100, and I'm trying to find it here, 163 items that they had to sort out. Basically, they were given 163 items. Here's it here. Marked as either complete or failed. Yeah, so basically they had 163 items to sort out. I think Sport Ireland and the government went, right, these are the things you need to fix. And they have 159 of those 163, and apparently the next 4 should be complete within the year. That's the equality on the directors board and all this kind of. I mean, credit. I know we put the welly into the FAI, but you got to give credit where credit's due there, and I think the government are quite happy actually with them. So that, that's got to be said. We love. I mean, here's Sport Ireland. Here's a comment here. Sport Ireland will continue to work with the FAI to ensure the best governance practices are implemented and maintained for the benefit of everyone involved in football in Ireland. The recommendations were put in place to protect Irish football and protect the interests of the Irish public. And I think that's good. We got to give a bit of credit there. We like to give the FAI a bit of stick, but to be fair, they're moving in the right direction. The government are happy with them. Sport Ireland are happy with them. So obviously they had
it's not spiteful to stick. It's just a bit of crack, isn't it? Like we actually really, I want the association to get their house in order, and I think it was needed, and that's going to attract sponsors and money and investment in the game, and that's what I think we are gonna end up getting right. It's just as you said earlier, we need to have patience, and this is a long-term strategy for the FAI as well, and not everything's going to happen overnight. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but no, I do have faith in it. And it is frustrating because you've got to remember, like, people are getting a bit frustrated that this management recruitment kind of dragging on, but it's such an important decision.
You want the right
thing
man
that we're judged on in the public domain, really, because you could invest millions of euros in grassroots football and say, oh, we're doing this stadium up and stuff, but most Irish people and Irish fans really care about and why it's in the kind of, the public will really only recognise when Ireland qualify or they're playing and they're doing well and getting results and hearing, oh, Ireland won last night and that was brilliant. They're not going to care about anything else that's really going on. It's going to be results driven, and the profile of that, and that's going to take time, and that's why we do have to be very patient.
Yeah, I mean, they do reckon it's going to be coming very shortly. They had an update. They obviously know who they're looking at, and obviously just got to iron out a few details. I'd rather they take time. I'd rather, even if they have to go to March, it wouldn't be ideal, but they go to March with a caretaker manager, whoever, maybe Jim Crawford, Nick's mate, take over. I think he just bursted that happened. I do think he actually, just as long as we get the right guy in here, there's no way Marc Canham, Canam Vale, Neil Lennon. And nothing against Neil Lennon, but that guy has so much baggage. So much baggage. Ruth Coppinger came out and said there's no way he can a TD over here, Martin. I'm not being facetious, but she's a TD. I'm not sure if you're aware of her. She's the one that really put the boots to Delaney that time 5 years ago. And basically, she's like, I don't want him involved. Apparently, he allegedly threatened a mistress of his with a knife when she found out that he was seeing someone else. Apparently had 3 women on the go, allegedly. That was from an Irish Mirror article.
I've seen. I had seen a bit of that speculation.
He apologised. He was Bolton manager at the time. It was a long time ago now. Look, but it's just
but also you do. No, I'm not. I don't really want to not Neil Lennon, because he's, But I mean that surface as well, hasn't it? Recently, the one where he's like pissed up and can barely speak and. I mean, it's just reflective of the association, and that will certainly air. You can imagine if he does get the Ireland job, that any time we get a poor result, going, well, how do you expect to get good results when this lad's in charge? I think just that stuff that will go on social media a little bit more. And
he's too much baggage for me, but I don't want to do an Eamon Dunphy on Terry Venables here, if only. But no. But anyway, we'll move it on to the next one. But we will, once it's announced, we'll probably have a live episode that night, but we will keep you updated. We'll have another episode anyway.
We will definitely have a reactive episode as long as the FAI release it at the right time, and I think that is something from the new FAI that they used to do these press releases at all hours, didn't they, under a different regime?
That was
good. That was always nice to get the little ping on the phone, and when we used to get them coming through and go, oh the bad news has come at 11 o'clock.
4 in the morning. He's like, oh, okay. No, but I mean, today was obviously completely different. But we'll keep you updated on that one. We're going to move it on ever so quickly. Of course, a bit of transfer rumor coming in. Adam Idah could be on his way to Celtic. I saw that. that's just popped up, man. Where did we see that?
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, it's an interesting one. He was linked with Verona in Italy, and I'd have reservations of him going there, to be honest. But and I don't see the fuss of why he has to go so far and to that kind of league. I think he can operate in the Championship without a doubt. Certainly operate in Scotland. Wouldn't be the worst move at all for him. And I do see that Celtic are also in transfer news with perhaps Mikey Johnson could be going to Norwich, or I think it's another side as well. I'm not sure. Like Blackburn, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's been linked as going away from Celtic, which again, you know, it's fantastic assist recently. So yeah, I like Mikey Johnson. I think he offers brilliant pace and things like that. And Idah, there must be a little bit more going on there at Norwich that he feels he needs to get out of there, that he's getting frustrated, not getting game time, basically. So frustrating time for him as well with the injuries. But yeah, I like him. But I think he will be playing second fiddle to Evan Ferguson. And again, I must emphasise, Evan Ferguson came on off the bench tonight for Brighton. They lost 4-0. And Ireland's, what's his name? The lad who plays for Luton. What's his name, Dave? We've had a practice. Come on, give it a go. Who scored?
Benny. Just looking here. So just on the Adam Idah one, I was just having a look there where you were talking. I don't know. I was on out when you speak. It came from the Daily Record. And Chris Sutton is not happy about it. He basically, Celtic hero Chris Sutton has declared that Adam Idah would not be an upgrade on OH as he nears a move from Norwich City. Record Sport exclusively, easy for me to say, revealed that the Ireland international is nearing a move to Celtic Park on loan with an option to buy. But Sutton appears to be unconvinced over the prospect, posting to Twitter, "I'm not sure with the greatest respect it's an upgrade on Idah. Needs to get away from Norwich and has potential, but has had potential for years, but he's 100% in the development category and a long way from the finished article." I think that's a fair analysis by Chris Hughton there. Like he's miles away from the finished article, isn't he?
He is, but he needs to get game time, so his move has got to be good. But you know,
Celtic though, is that not too big? League One, maybe spell in League One or something, just to get him going, get him playing regularly, or
yeah, but I don't know. It's like Troy Parrott. It would mystified me when he moved away as well. You know, it was a strange one.
He's doing well in the Eredivisie now, isn't he? He's doing all right.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and I've seen another young Irish striker who left Bows this year, Afolabi. He scored in Belgium tonight, so a really good goal as well. And he's a big lad as well. I like him actually, Afolabi, but I think when you go away that far, you might get lost and forgotten.
Fair. Also, it was announced today, well, I read anyway, in two papers, going to talk about this. Ireland in June we've got 2 games obviously we've got 2 games in March. Excuse me. The calendar this year will be March, 2 games in March, which we know, Belgium, Switzerland, 2 games in June, 2 games in September, October, and November. We got the pre-Euro 2024 games in June, and then we have the Nations League in September, October, and November. Today it was announced that Ireland will play Hungary in one of those June games. However, I'm not too sure, Martin, where it's going to be played. Now, it was announced, not official, but I mean, no smoke without fire, right? And Hungary apparently want to play a team similar to Scotland because Ireland plays like Scotland, if only. And they have them in the Euro 2024 group. But yeah, so basically we're either playing them. I think the Examiner said, the Irish Independent said Dublin, and the Examiner said Budapest. So I'm not too sure where that's going to be. But decent test. But the last 2 times we played Hungary, we've drawn 0-0. They've been really bad games, actually.
Yeah. Just speculation now. It's again building up, and these transfers, you would think, well, not the transfers, the fixtures you would hope are being finalised. And I've seen even today the ticket office are back in action at Abbottstown, so a busy day for them. That they've announced that the 2 March games, which are Belgium and Switzerland, are going to be a duo package. So if you're not a season ticket holder, you will be able to buy tickets for them as part of a duo package. So they're still doing that, still trying to bring money in. No sponsor yet. I wonder, was that asked today? Hope so. And I think hopefully the sponsor will come on the back of the new manager.
Hopefully. But yeah, more news on that. I need to know. I hope it's Dublin, my bank balance. Beggs is Dublin that were playing.
We did actually speculate the other night, like, you know, I did see actually, it's actually in March 22nd, I think it is. Spain are taking on Colombia at the Emirates in London, and we were talking the other day. I think, Dave, we said it'd be great if Ireland had a match in London. It'd be brilliant. Really appreciate it for us, I think.
Oh, it'd be amazing if you're listening, FAI. Oh, actually, one thing I meant to say about the Hungary game. I mean, if it's in Dublin, at least Sammy Smollett will definitely get to play in the Aviva one way or another, won't he?
Yeah, 20 goals now, I think, for the season.
20 brilliant. Goals. Got another 2 last night. Yeah, we still haven't been able to cap him. And also, we're just going to finish up the last bit here. David Connolly on Twitter. And yeah, he's unboxed more treasure. He's basically having a bit of a clear out. He found a load of boots apparently yesterday, but here he is. If you're not watching on YouTube, I'm going to read out. But here's his tweet. Unboxed more treasure. I kept a video diary of the 2002 World Cup and recorded hours of footage. It's a great bit of fun. The camera passed to lads injured to record training / downtime and even the moments just before and just after Roy and Mick had their fallout. Oh, I think Kieran Cunningham said to him, well, that's your pension right there.
Yep. It's very true. I mean, one of them tapes actually says R&M kind of chat discussion. If you look, day 3, the top right-hand corner one. Yeah. I mean, look, my immediate thought when I seen this was massive excitement, and I thought myself, I mean, loads of people have come, what a brilliant, you know, Netflix, £1 million straight away, and all sorts. I mean, it would be amazing. And you know what I thought of straight away was the Finding Jack Charlton documentary, which is absolutely brilliant, and the fact that they had a lot of footage from the Craig Johnson, who was working for FIFA at the time, who used to play for Liverpool, and he designed the Predator boot. A lot of the footage of that backroom, you know, behind the scenes stuff, that was just amazing, and filmed on a
Andy Townsend as well.
Andy Townsend stuff as well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he said you need to also check him because he was videoing everything because he'd been commissioned by FIFA to do this behind the scenes thing, and he fell in love with the Irish camp basically. So we had all that for that amazing documentary. This is going to be like gold, isn't it? This if it ever comes out.
If he does it, maybe the 30th anniversary Netflix, not RTE, they'll ruin it.
No,
BBC or Channel 4 or Netflix or Vice or something like that. But yeah, you did get a bit excited on Twitter, Martin. I had a look here earlier on. I always like to slag me about making friends.
Yeah.
And here's Martin Prendergast on Twitter. Met you, Mr. David Connolly, in Tokyo with Kenny C, buying Adidas football trainers with French England flags on them for a wind-up. What a time. Do you remember? Do you remember me, David? Do you remember
I've had a little bit of interest. I actually seen someone say to David Connolly, at least you did something at the World Cup because you didn't even play a minute, which isn't actually true because he missed a penalty in the penalty shootout, as we know. And I did also send him the wooden signed World Cup ball and said, have you got one of these? Because exclusively on the Green Machine, when we had Matt Holland on, I did show him my wooden ball.
Your balls, then.
And he said that is quite rare. We all got one of those, and we signed them for each other and things like that, and I managed to get one. So I think that's where the jealousy comes from, Dave. But the context of the Adidas football trainers was it was quite funny, like, because I remember at the time being with a friend of mine, Stephen O'Carroll, and walking around Tokyo, and we seen Kenny Cunningham, Kenny C as I called him, and David Connolly. I think it was Steve Finnan. I'm not sure if Matt Holland was there or not. I'm not sure, but there was 3 or 4 of them walking along, and they were talking. We were just chatting to them, but they were going, "Oh, one of the lads is buying these Adidas trainers, like to slip in, so one of the lads or someone else wear them around with the England flag on for a bit of crack." That was what the joke was.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for reaching out on Twitter. I'm sure. Right.
Reaching out.
Let's have a little look. It's not begging because we've been interacting with him on this World Cup stuff, and I also noticed the.
Remember me, David.
I also noticed, a nice David to interact.
Don't you ever when I talk about John Fallon, who is actually a friend of the pod, who I've actually spoken to, and I've been to many Ireland games with, and you're like, oh, friend, football friend. David, remember me, please. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Give us a pair of boots.
Do you remember the boots is what I'm asking. No, does he remember the trainers is what I've asked.
Doesn't remember you, Martin. Get over it.
And
I barely remember
also also I like that he shared the Oliver Sweeney black leather shoes that were given to all the squad as well, with the Irish flag on the back. Quite cool as well.
Yeah,
that was a big thing around that time, 2002. I remember England, I think they had some as well. I don't know if it was Oliver Sweeney. It was another kind of really big, famous kind of brand at the time in shoes that England had. And I think Ireland's kind of designers kind of jumped on that as well, the bandwagon of that a little bit.
I'll copy on the English? Never. Right.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that anyway. But yeah, good times. They were good times, Dave. It was wonderful to be at that World Cup and catch up with the lads. And
well, I was in school. Well, I actually didn't complete school because I didn't bother with my schooling because I basically given up. I hadn't done homework for 2 years. I hadn't worn a uniform for about 3, and I said I remember they rang me up. Are you going to do your leaving cert? Said, nah, there's a World Cup on. Ireland's in it. Sure, you never know when we'll be at the next one. I was right about that. 22 years and counting. Anyway, we're going to move it on there. So if you want to see Martin and his sycophantic ways on Twitter, give him a follow over there, and he'll hound you down as well for a pair of shorts. Oh God, we do actually get on. We do like each other. I swear. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you, Martin. We did get on, yeah.
Thank you, David Dunn. I'm reversing it now. I've got new friends, Mark and Jonathan and Paul, and now you're David Dunn. When I don't like you, it's the full name.
Oh, the full name. The full name. Okay, Martin Prendergast, you want to play that? If you want to play that game. Anyway, listen, we're going to leave it there. Martin, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for watching. As always, you can give us a follow. Give us a cheeky subscribe on YouTube. Go on. You know you want to. Tell your friends about it. If you like what you hear, you love what you see, tell them about it. We are trying to grow the YouTube channel. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you want opinions, not just us, the lads over there, you got James, you got Connor, you got Bill, you got a great bunch of lads. You got Ken. Do some great work over there, some fantastic opinion pieces, and just some throwback pieces as well. You can head over to thegreenmachinepodcast.com, thegreenmachinepodcast.com. We will be called that for the next little while, and we're going to move it over to lansandroar.ie. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much again. Good night. God bless.